Patching your Wholehog, Part 2. Oftentimes, you'll need to patch a fixture with more than one patch point. For example, perhaps you are using a LECO with a scroller attached. That means your LECO's intensity control will be assigned to the dimmer that it's patched to, and the scroller will also have its own address. These addresses may not even be in the same universe or DP. You'll want to use the scroller dimmer profile for this. This can be found under the generic manufacturer. I'll add one scroller dimmer to this show file. Oh, and FYI, the generic manufacturer is also where you'll find profiles for fixtures like 3-channel RGB LEDs, strobes, desk channels, non-dims, and more. Before I patch the scroller and the LECO's dimmer, I'll change the user number of this fixture to 201. Again, this can be any number you want. This means that when I'm programming, I can call up 201 and have control of the intensity of my LECO and the color of my scroller at the same time. Now let's patch these units. I'll key in 201 and press @ When the patching window opens, you'll notice that you have two options for patch point, intensity and fixture. I'll click intensity so that I can patch my LECO's dimmer address. My dimmers are in Universe 3 of DP2000 number 1, and the address of this dimmer is 1. Now I'll press @ again, and this time select Fixture. Now I'm telling the console that I want to patch the scroller. My scroller is controlled by DP2000 number 1, Universe 2, and its address is 300, so I'll type 300, enter. Now if you look at the scroller dimmer, I have address information in 2 rows. I can tell which address is associated with the dimmer by looking in the patch points column and finding the cell labeled Intensity. The row labeled Fixture is the scroller portion. The process is the same for automated fixtures with an outboard dimmer. For example, the Studio Command H would need patch information for the mechanical functions and also for the dimmer location that you've connected the lamp to. In the fixture window, there are 2 columns where you can add your own text if needed. These are Note and Patch Note. The text can be anything you want. Maybe you want to mark your fixture as a special, or label your house lights, or maybe you just want to name your fixture Mike. You have the option in your editor and output windows to be able to view any text you add to the note column. However, the patch note column is viewable only in the fixture window. The swap axes, pan, and tilt invert columns allow you to quickly change the way a moving light fixture will react. To change any of these from no to yes, just click the cell and hit set. These columns only apply to fixtures with the ability to pan and tilt. The intensity percentage column is where you can input a proportional patch percentage. This will affect your fixture's intensity output. For example, if I change this to 50%, then when I call my unit up at full, the output will only be 50. Because this is proportional, when I call my unit up at 60, the output will actually be 30. The color calibrated column applies only to color mixing units and tells you whether or not the fixture has been color calibrated in the profile. The parked column will say yes if one or all the parameters of that unit have been parked. Like the color calibration column, these are not editable cells, but rather feedback information. There are 2 buttons available in the fixture window that are used specifically to modify existing programming. These are Replicate Fixtures and Change Type. Replicate Fixtures is used when you want to add new units to your show file and also copy the programming that you've already done for one fixture into that new fixture. Let's say that in this show I've just been given a 4th studio spot. I can copy my programming for any of my existing studio spots to this new one. I'll use 101 as an example. Simply select Fixture 101 and press Replicate Fixtures. Now I have a new fixture, number 104, and the note column shows that this is a copy of 101. All of my palettes, cues, scenes, any programming I did for number 101 has been copied to this new fixture, number 104. Of course, that fixture will have its own separate address, so I'll need to patch that as well. Because these are 2 distinct fixtures, I can of course modify each unit separately now. For example, I'll want to adjust all of my position palettes for this new unit, as it will not be hung in the exact same space that fixture number 101 is. The Wholehog can do some pretty powerful things, but avoiding the laws of physics just isn't one of them. Another really cool functionality that can be used to quickly change your programming is Change Type. You'll use this button when you want to transfer your original programming from one fixture type to another. Let's say I've programmed my entire show using Studio Command 1200s, and now we've decided to change to 5 studio colors. Simple. I'll select fixtures 1 through 5 and press Change Type. At that point, the fixture list will open and I can pick any fixture in the library to clone my programming to. I'll locate high-end systems, and then Studio Color 575, and click OK. Now all of my palettes, cues, scenes, all of my programming has been changed to match the studio colors. Of course, I'll need to repatch these units to match the address information on the actual studio colors. Change type works by using real-world values. In other words, this is not a straight copy of DMX values from channel to channel. Instead, the hog looks at values like pan, tilt, intensity, CMY, and copies the real-world values in degrees, percentages, RPMs, hertz, all of those values to the new unit. Keep in mind that both units must share at least one real-world parameter in order to copy any programming. For example, if I want to change my programming for a wash fixture into a spot fixture, then parameters like intensity, pan, tilt, CMYs will most likely be transferred, but there will be no gobo information because the wash doesn't have any gobos. You can of course add gobos to your programming though. Clicking Edit Fixtures allows you to reconfigure the parameter control of fixtures in your show file. There are two ways to sort this new window, by fixture or by function. If you want to change the default of a parameter or change the maximum or minimum value, you'll just click the cell, press Set, and type in the desired value. Maybe you want to set parameters to be non-releasable or change an offset or default path. All of these tasks can be accomplished in the Edit Fixtures window. Fixture Builder is a built-in library creator. When you click this button, a message will appear. This is not an error message, but a reminder that you can also request a profile to be created for you by emailing our support department. Alternatively, we also have a section in our forums dedicated to profile requests. However, if you'd like to build your own profile, or if you just don't have time to contact high-end systems, you can use Fixture Builder. You can build your own fixture from scratch, or you can import an existing fixture using Copy From and modify it to suit your needs. Using Fixture Builder requires a knowledge of DMX protocol and a complete understanding of your fixture's DMX layout. If you'd like to learn more about Fixture Builder, I'd suggest trying the tutorial available in section 34 of the Wholehog manual. This tutorial will walk you through building a profile for a fictitious fixture with some very common attributes.